Gentlemen, let me begin with a truth many men never fully understand. Touching a woman is not a one-size-fits-all act. Certain areas of her body spark powerful emotional reactions, often well before any physical response appears. Yet most men are only familiar with a couple of these areas, if that. Before we go further, ask yourself this: do you truly understand where and how a woman wants to be touched? I'm not referring to the obvious places most men immediately think of. I'm talking about the points that open her emotionally, the kinds of touch that help her feel seen and understood before her body responds at all. Many men say, "I know my partner inside and out." But when I pose this question, the room often goes quiet. Why? Because no one ever taught you this. And women, even when these needs are strong, don't always put them into words. Instead, they communicate through body language, eye contact, and subtle cues that many men overlook. Today, I will reveal 7 key zones. But understand this: these are not just physical areas. They are emotional entry points. When you learn to understand them, and approach them with care, your partner's reactions can shift dramatically. Your hands will no longer be just hands, they will become a form of emotional communication. Most men rely on instinct. They assume that touching the right place automatically leads to pleasure. But for women, pleasure doesn't begin with mechanics. It begins with emotional safety. Many men feel they are doing everything right, yet from a woman's perspective, the interaction can feel unbalanced or disconnected. You might wonder why her reactions have changed over time or why she doesn't respond the way she once did. The explanation is simpler than it seems. What men often take for granted doesn't automatically create emotion in women. Women don't respond to stimulation alone, they respond to intention, attentiveness, and presence. When a woman truly feels your care and awareness, her body naturally follows. The challenge is this: women don't always say what they desire. They show it. Zone 1 is the hands, an area many men underestimate. A woman's hands are closely linked to her emotional state. Holding them slowly and gently reaches far beyond the skin. A light stroke along her fingers or a warm, steady touch in her palm can create a deep feeling of connection and understanding. Couples who continue holding hands, even after many years together, tend to maintain stronger emotional closeness. That's no accident. Hand contact stimulates oxytocin, the hormone responsible for trust and bonding. It's where people often hold tension without realizing it. A slow, gentle touch here, free of intention or expectation, can calm the body almost immediately. This isn't about arousal, it's about comfort, reassurance, and trust. I recall a man in his late 50s who felt unseen in his long-term marriage. One evening, with no agenda at all, he softly rested his hand on his wife's neck as she stood by the window. She paused, took a deep breath, and turned to face him. That small, wordless moment rekindled a connection they thought was gone. Zone 3, the lower back, between the waist and hips. This area symbolizes grounding and support. Placing your hands here lightly, without gripping or controlling, communicates a clear message: I'm present, and you're safe but free. It's especially powerful in everyday moments, standing together in the kitchen, early in the morning, in quiet closeness. No conversation is required. Zone 4, behind the ear, just under the jawline. This is a highly sensitive area that only opens when trust already exists. Excessive pressure shuts it down, while warmth and gentleness invite it open. One woman once explained that this kind of touch didn't make her feel wanted, it made her feel appreciated. For most women, that feeling comes first. Zone 5, between the shoulder blades. Often ignored, this spot carries deep psychological meaning. It represents protection and support, a place she cannot see or reach herself. A soft hand here signals reassurance. Her nervous system relaxes, and her thoughts slow. Because the touch is not sexual, it becomes even more meaningful. Zone 6, the inner thighs near the knees. To be clear, this isn't about intimacy. This is a threshold area, close, but respectful. When approached with patience, it conveys, "I'm near, and I honor your pace." Many men rush past this step and, in doing so, lose emotional trust. Zone 7, the lower abdomen around the navel. This is often the most unexpected zone. The lower belly is where instinct and emotion intersect. Touch here demands complete sincerity, slow, warm, and careful, as if handling something fragile. When a woman allows this, she's sharing more than physical access, she's opening her inner world. Why these zones matter? Women don't experience touch as purely physical, it's processed emotionally and neurologically. Research shows that women's skin receptors are more sensitive and that these areas stimulate the release of oxytocin, the hormone tied to bonding, trust, and emotional safety. These aren't sexual triggers, they're emotional receptors, signaling to her body that she's safe.